In real life, there's two ways to make money that work way better than anything else. First, have a lot of money to begin with. Inheriting from your rich dead relatives is a good start. Then you can stick that money in the bank and in safe investments and earn a good enough return that you have enough money to live on without doing a damn thing. Similarly, the other way to make money is to already be making a lot of money. It lets you make long-term investments in things like new skills to get new jobs that pay even more. This is basically how things work in teamfight tactics as well. Other than the 5 gold everyone gets every round, you make 1 gold of interest for every 10 gold you save, up to 5 additional income. Then there are win bonuses and streak bonuses, which reward people who are already doing well, allowing you to snowball. The lost streak bonus is a little bit different given the game of comeback mechanic, but we'll get to that. The most important thing about spending money early game is that units don't really cost money. They require you to have a certain amount of gold to buy them, of course, but what I mean is that TFT has a return policy that puts Nordstrom to shame. At any time, you can trade in any non-upgraded unit for exactly the same that you spent on it. This means that having 10 gold and 5 one-cost units on your bench is, for the purposes of your equity, exactly the same as having 15 gold. Why does this matter? In the early game, you don't have that much choice about what you play. The game is going to give you certain units, and 3 of some of those, and the most powerful thing you can play are those 2-star units you happen to get. Use the fact that you can buy units with no commitment to maximize your chances of hitting good stuff in the early game. It might seem strange at first to buy that random Mordekaiser from the shop when you have 2 nobles assembled already, but you'll be glad what you did when you hit 2 more Mord in the next shop, and you get Knight bonus with Mord and Garen. Buy everything you can get your hands on. You'll take advantage of the selling aspect of those units right at the end of each battle, right before interest is calculated. Wait until you see whether you're going to get the 1 gold win bonus, then sell units you're not going to use, usually meaning not your pairs of units, until you hit the next 10 gold breakpoint. When I hit Plat 4, I felt like I was really struggling. My first games in Plat, I went 4th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th. I took a walk around, then went to the closest bar to have a glass of wine, and thought about what I could be doing differently. It felt like every game I had a strong early game, then lost all my HP in mid-game while I made 5 gold interest off my 50 gold in the bank. What I realized I was fucking up was that while I was taking advantage of the interest part of the game's econ, I wasn't taking advantage of the game's win streaking. Then I started playing more aggressively and I started winning. As I'm writing this script in patch 9.14, the common play in high elo has become to buy XP before the first PvP round even starts to win as early as possible. That is aggression, but it's smart aggression that costs nothing long term other than the opportunity to hold some units that you might possibly hit more of. Consider 2 different situations. One player has an average army, and they have 40 gold in the bank. Their average income per round is 5 passive gold, plus 4 interest, plus a gold from winning every other round, so an average of 9.5. Another player has played more aggressively, only saving 10 gold, but they're on a massive win streak. They're making 5 passive gold, plus a win streak bonus of 3, they're getting the win bonus every round, and they're making 1 interest. That's 10 gold per round. The econ-heavy guy with 40 gold in the bank is, in reality, losing in per-round income to the aggressive player. The takeaway here is that when you're powerful, you have to push your advantage more and more to keep winning, and thus keep making money. 1 loss and that streak bonus is over. Don't think of using your money here as spending, it's investing. Before you buy anything, think about whether you're making a good investment to make even more money in future rounds. When you're 12 gold away from leveling up, what's more important than 12 gold is how much interest it's going to cost you versus the return you can get on that investment. If you're holding a long-ass win streak and a 2-star unit is chilling on your bench, that's a great investment to keep your win streak going. Everyone else's army is constantly improving, so you have to stay ahead of the curve to keep up the streak. An important aspect of winning early is using your items. I made a short use your fucking items video, and basically, if you want to go on a win streak early, you need to build powerful early game items. What items are good in the early game and what composition is going to change patch to patch, but basically, whatever your early builds, think about what components can make powerful items that you'll still want to use in the late game. If you have the opportunity to use items early and they're items you want in late game anyway, do it. It can be the difference between rolling to an early 8-round win streak at 100 health and winning every other round for no streak. In almost every case, the enemy of econ is the re-roll button. It costs you 2 gold you won't ever get back. It can't be sold back like a unit, and it's not something that gets you a permanent return like buying XP. If you're a newer player and learning to manage your econ, at this point, just don't press the reroll button until you're at least level 6. If you're good at it at the game, you're going to tell me this is a bad rule, and there's lots of reasons to break it, but then you don't need this guide, do you, asshole? But yes, there are times when you're on a win streak and need to preserve it by upgrading crucial 1-star units on your board, so it can, at very specific times, be a good investment. But don't reroll early, unless you should. You get the idea. Now, with all this stuff about making lots of money off of winning and how to preserve win streaks, you might be wondering, what if my units suck ass? What if the game gave me gold instead of items and there's nothing I can do to win rounds? Well, I'm assuming you're going to make the common play. Throw up your hands, complain and chat about it, and post on Reddit about how the game is nothing but RNG and there's no way to win consistently. There is another possible option to consider here, actually trying to win the game instead of just whining. While you might not have a powerful army, there are two other important resources in TFT, your gold total and your health. If you have absolute dog shit in units, just focus on hitting those even gold totals and not losing HP too quickly until your luck changes. Do the best you can with what the game gives you. It's a mathematical certainty that eventually you will hit those 2 stars of the pairs you're holding. Upgrade your army on the cheap, take good stuff on the carousel, and when you finally win a round or two, switch your strategy into investing on keeping it going like I already told you about. The most health you can possibly lose in a round before endgame is about 20, so until your health gets down to the mid-30s, you don't need to panic. Unless you're against Elise. Fuck those spiders. Remember, you're not losing health, you're spending health to convert it into more money with the passive gold and lost streak bonus, XP, and the free reroll you get every round. Regardless of patch, regardless of what endgame build you want to go into, econ strategy is the core of the game. You could have the best positioning and know exactly the best late game build that no one else is doing, but if your early game econ sucks, you're gonna lose. It is, in my opinion, the absolute #1 thing to master to improve. You're gonna fuck it up. You're going to tank your econ early for little to no reason sometimes, and other times you'll lose a round and get hit for exactly lethal with 62 gold. Or maybe you're a better player than me and you won't, in which case, please make some guides for me to watch. Oh my god, fuck yes, I got that in one take. Holy shit, I'm the best. Only fucked up like one thing, that was great. Running it, one take, got it. Woo!